Have you ever opened a closet, a drawer, or even your garage and felt a wave of stress just from looking at everything inside? Maybe it's an old lamp you haven't turned on in years, a stack of magazines you meant to read, or boxes of your children's school papers from decades ago. You stand there thinking, I might need this someday, or I can't let this go because it's part of my history. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us, especially as we get older, hold on to far more than we actually use or need. And while those items may seem harmless, they often weigh us down in ways we don't realize, stealing our space, our time, and even our peace of mind. That's why I want to have a heart-to-heart with you today about something a little uncomfortable but very freeing: letting go of excess stuff. This isn't about throwing away your memories or denying your past. It's about creating more room physically and emotionally for the life you're living now. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 common mistakes seniors make by keeping too much stuff. By the end, you'll feel inspired and equipped to make gentle, realistic changes that will make your home and your days lighter. Let's start with the first mistake, because it's one of the most common and the most powerful once you see it clearly. It's holding on to things just in case. We've all done it. You keep extra pots and pans in case you cook for a crowd, even though you haven't hosted a big dinner in years. You hang on to stacks of bedding because maybe one day you'll need them for guests. That just-in-case voice feels like it's protecting you, but in reality, it's keeping you tied to a life you may not even be living anymore. The truth is, most of those items never get used. They sit in boxes or closets, taking up precious space that could be used for things you truly enjoy, or simply left empty to make your home easier to move around in. If you're thinking, but what if I really do need it someday? Try a simple experiment. Place the item in a box with today's date on it. Put the box somewhere out of the way. If after 6 months or a year you haven't touched it, it's probably safe to let it go. This takes the fear out of decluttering because you're not making a final decision on the spot. You're giving yourself time to see whether that just in case actually comes up. In most cases, you'll find you never miss the item at all, and the relief of letting it go will outweigh the tiny chance you'll need it. Now, as you start letting go of just-in-case items, something surprising happens. You begin to notice how much lighter your space feels, and how much easier it is to clean and find things. You're not rummaging through clutter to find your favorite sweater or your reading glasses. And this isn't just about convenience. Studies show that a cluttered environment can actually raise your stress levels and make you feel more tired. So, by releasing what you don't use, you're also giving your mind and body a boost. The second mistake many seniors make is keeping items purely out of guilt. This is a tricky one because it's tied to our hearts. Maybe someone gave you a gift you never liked, but you feel obligated to keep it. Or perhaps you inherited furniture from a relative and feel you're dishonoring them if you don't hold on to it. Guilt is a heavy weight, and it can keep our homes and our spirits crowded. But here's a gentle truth. Keeping an object you don't love or use doesn't honor the person who gave it to you. In fact, it may even keep you from fully appreciating the memory of them. Imagine a china set passed down from your grandmother. You never use it, and it's taking up half a cupboard. Every time you see it, you feel bad for not displaying it. What if, instead, you chose one beautiful teacup and saucer to keep and let the rest go to someone who would use it? That single cup becomes a special reminder of your grandmother instead of a source of guilt. Or consider passing items along while you're still here to explain their stories. You could give a piece of jewelry to a grandchild now, telling them about the day you received it. That way, the item carries its meaning forward without burdening your space. Releasing guilt-based clutter can be emotional, so be kind to yourself. You don't have to do it all in one day. Start small, maybe one drawer or one shelf. As you let go, notice how it feels. Most people find a sense of freedom and even joy when they pass items along to someone who will appreciate them. Your home starts to reflect who you are now, not who you used to be or what other people expect of you. As you address the just-in-case items and the guilt-ridden ones, you may start to feel a shift inside yourself. Your rooms will look more open, but more importantly, your heart will feel lighter. You'll have more space to move, to breathe, and to enjoy the things you truly love. That's the beautiful part about decluttering at this stage of life. It's not about loss, It's about gaining clarity and freedom for the years ahead. As your home begins to feel lighter from releasing those just-in-case items and the ones kept out of guilt, you may also notice something else. There are still piles, stacks, and boxes that seem impossible to deal with because they're tied to memories. And that brings us to another very common mistake: holding on to sentimental items in overwhelming quantities. Our lives are full of moments, people, and milestones, and it's only natural to want to preserve them. Photographs, letters, children's artwork, programs from events, souvenirs from trips. Each one feels like a thread in the story of our lives. But when we try to keep all of them, the story becomes so crowded we can't actually enjoy it. Think about your photo albums. You might have dozens, or maybe even boxes of loose pictures. Do you flip through them often, or do they sit untouched because there are simply too many to handle? The beauty of a memory isn't in the number of items you keep, but in how you treasure the ones you do. Instead of hanging on to every program, postcard, or birthday card you have ever received, try selecting just a few that truly capture the moment or the feeling. One cherished photo of a family vacation, framed and displayed where you see it every day, can bring you far more joy than a dusty box of hundreds hidden in the closet. A gentle way to start is to create a favorites box. As you sort through sentimental items, pick out the ones that make your heart swell or bring a smile to your face. Place those in the box. You can even make it a project with a loved one. Your children or grandchildren might enjoy hearing the stories behind those items. This way, you're not just decluttering, you're sharing and preserving your history in a meaningful way. And for the rest of the items, consider scanning them or taking photos so you can keep the memory digitally without the physical bulk. Technology can be a wonderful ally here, giving you a way to hold on to the essence of your memories without letting them overrun your living space. Another mistake that sneaks up on many seniors is keeping duplicates, or sometimes triplicates, of items we barely use. This can happen slowly over the years. You buy a new set of measuring cups because you can't find the old ones. Someone gives you a new blanket, but you never let go of the old ones. Before you know it, your kitchen cabinets are stuffed with extra mugs, your bathroom shelves with multiple bottles of the same lotion, and your linen closet looks like it could supply a small hotel. All these duplicates create visual and mental clutter, making it harder to find the one thing you actually need. Reducing duplicates can be surprisingly freeing. Start with something simple like your kitchen utensils or towels. Lay them out where you can see them all at once. Ask yourself how many you realistically use in a week. Do you really need 6 spatulas or 10 sets of sheets? Keep your favorites, the ones you actually reach for, and let the extras go. If they're still in good condition, donate them to a local shelter or community center. Knowing that someone else will use and appreciate them can make parting much easier. This process doesn't just clear your space, it also saves you money and time. When your cabinets and drawers aren't overflowing, you can see what you have, which means you're less likely to buy duplicates in the future. It becomes easier to keep track of your belongings, and everyday tasks from cooking to getting dressed feel simpler and less stressful. While you're letting go of duplicates, you might also notice something important about your living environment. For many of us, especially as we get older, mobility and safety become bigger priorities. A cluttered home can quietly increase the risk of falls or accidents. Boxes on the floor, piles in hallways, overstuffed closets that spill into walking spaces, all of these can create hazards. And yet, a surprising number of seniors hang on to items even when their space starts to feel cramped or difficult to navigate. That's why the third mistake, keeping too much just because it fits, is worth addressing. Just because something can technically fit into your home doesn't mean it belongs there. Our needs and lifestyles change over time. Furniture that felt cozy years ago might now be an obstacle. Collections that once brought joy might now gather dust and make cleaning a chore. Taking a fresh look at your living space with your current needs in mind can be eye-opening. Ask yourself, does this item make my daily life easier or harder? Does it add beauty and comfort? Or is it simply filling space? Sometimes this means rearranging or parting with larger items, like a heavy coffee table you keep bumping into, or a bulky cabinet filled with things you don't use. It can feel daunting, but the payoff is huge. A clearer, more open home is easier to move through, easier to clean, and far safer. And it also feels calmer. Many people describe a sense of lightness and relief after making these changes, as though they can finally breathe again in their own space. Taking these steps doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and it's okay to go slowly. You're not just moving objects. You're making decisions about what matters to you now and in the years ahead. That's powerful. Every item you let go of creates a little more room for peace, for movement, and for the activities you truly love, whether that's reading, gardening, or playing with your grandchildren on the living room floor without worrying about tripping over a box. As you work through sentimental items, duplicates, and the just because it fits mindset, you'll start to notice how much lighter and more in control you feel. Your home will reflect your present life rather than being a museum of the past or a storage unit for someday. And the best part, you're not losing your memories or your identity. You're actually making more space to enjoy them. A few treasured items displayed with love can tell your story far more beautifully than a crowded shelf ever could. By now, as you look around your home and notice the changes you've been making, releasing those just-in-case items, easing the guilt from gifts, trimming down the sentimental collections, letting go of duplicates, and opening up your space, you may feel a growing sense of lightness. But there's still one more mistake many seniors unknowingly make when it comes to keeping too much stuff. And it's less about the objects themselves and more about the habits around them. It's the tendency to avoid making decisions. We often think, I'll deal with that later. We set things aside, planning to sort through them on a rainy day, a quiet weekend, or when we have more time. A pile of mail, a stack of newspapers, a drawer full of cords from who knows what, they're all decisions we postpone. Over the years, those postponed decisions pile up into clutter. Each time you see them, you're reminded of the choice you still haven't made, which quietly drains your energy. Breaking the habit of postponing decisions can be transformative. Start by practicing the one-touch rule. When you pick something up, a letter, an old receipt, a piece of clothing, decide right then what to do with it. Will you keep it, use it, donate it, or discard it? Even small decisions, made consistently, prevent clutter from building up again. If that feels overwhelming, set a gentle limit. Spend just 10 or 15 minutes a day making decisions on a small area. Little by little, those piles shrink, and you reclaim your surfaces and your peace of mind. As you get better at making these small decisions, you'll find your relationship with your belongings begins to change. Instead of feeling weighed down, you start to feel in control. Your home stops being a place where unfinished tasks lurk in every corner and becomes a calm, welcoming space you truly enjoy. This is especially important as we age, because the mental clarity that comes from a simplified environment can boost our mood, our focus, and even our sense of independence. Letting go of excess stuff isn't about living with nothing. It's about making room for what really matters to you. When you clear away the unused and the unnecessary, you give yourself a gift, the ability to easily find and enjoy the things you truly cherish. Imagine opening a drawer and seeing only clothes you actually wear. Picture a kitchen counter with nothing on it but a bowl of fresh fruit. Visualize a living room where your favorite chair is surrounded by open space, ready for a good book or a visit from a friend. These aren't just images, they're feelings, peace, freedom, and the quiet joy of living in a home that supports, rather than crowds, your life. It's also worth remembering that by making these choices now, you're helping your loved ones. Many families face a difficult and emotional task when a parent or grandparent passes away and leaves behind a house full of belongings to sort through. By simplifying your space yourself, you're easing that burden for the people you care about. You're also shaping your legacy, deciding what you want to pass on and how you want to be remembered. Instead of leaving your story scattered across dozens of boxes, you can choose the pieces that best tell it, and even share them while you're still here to explain their meaning. And if the idea of doing all this alone feels daunting, remember you don't have to. Ask a friend or family member to help you go through a closet. Make it a social activity. Share the memories behind the items you're keeping or letting go of. Sometimes having another person there can make the process less overwhelming and even enjoyable. You might be surprised at how good it feels to laugh over old photographs or stories as you sort, and how satisfying it is to see a room become lighter and more welcoming together. As you reach the end of this journey, take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Each decision to let go, each drawer or box you've cleared, represents not loss, but a conscious choice to shape your environment around your current life. You've taken steps to reduce stress, improve safety, honor your memories in a more meaningful way, and create a home that reflects who you are now. Remember, there's no such thing as perfect decluttering. You're not aiming for a magazine-ready minimalist home unless that's what you truly want. You're aiming for a space that feels good to you, a space where you can move easily, find what you need, and enjoy the items that matter most. It's about making small, doable changes that add up to a big difference in how you live and feel each day. If you're feeling inspired, start with one small area today. A single drawer, a corner of a closet, or a stack of papers. Give yourself grace. Take breaks and celebrate each little win. Over time, those wins build momentum. Before long, you'll find that the heaviness of too much stuff has lifted, replaced by a home and a life that feel more spacious, more peaceful, and more you. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried letting go of some of your just-in-case or guilt-based items? Have you found a special way to preserve your memories without keeping everything? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. You might inspire someone else who's feeling stuck. And if this conversation has been helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more gentle, practical advice on living your best life at any age. Here's to a home that welcomes you, supports you, and makes space for the moments still to come. You've earned it, and you deserve it. As you continue making small changes day by day, something subtle but powerful begins to happen. You start waking up and looking around your home with a new sense of calm. The piles that once weighed on you are shrinking. The rooms you once avoided feel inviting again. It's as though you're meeting your own home for the first time, only this time it's lighter, clearer, and truly yours. This is what all those little decisions add up to: a living space that nurtures you instead of draining you. You might notice that you move more easily from room to room. Your favorite chair is no longer surrounded by stacks of magazines. Your kitchen counter isn't buried under things you'll get to later. Even simple routines, like making coffee in the morning or folding laundry, feel smoother and less stressful. There's more air, more light, and more energy in your home. And because your surroundings feel calmer, your mind starts to feel calmer too. That constant background noise of "I should sort through that" or "I have to find a place for this" grows quiet, replaced by a quiet confidence that you're on top of your space instead of it being on top of you. This isn't about perfection or living like a minimalist monk. It's about giving yourself room to breathe. With fewer things demanding your attention, you have more energy for what really matters. Spending time with family and friends, pursuing hobbies you've been putting off, enjoying your garden, or simply sitting in a sunny spot with a good book. Your space becomes a partner in your life rather than a project that never ends. And that is deeply freeing at any age, but especially now, when you've earned the right to enjoy your days without unnecessary burdens. Another beautiful effect of letting go of excess stuff is how it changes your relationship with your memories. When you've chosen the items you truly love, a few photographs, a treasured piece of jewelry, a memento from a trip, those things stand out and shine. They aren't lost in a sea of clutter. You actually see and appreciate them more. They tell your story clearly instead of being buried in a box. And because you've released the rest, you may find yourself remembering moments more vividly, not less. Sometimes the act of deciding what to keep deepens your connection to the memories behind it. You may also find your loved ones feel the difference. Your children or grandchildren will notice how your home feels easier and more welcoming. Visits become less about trying to navigate around piles or search for a place to sit, and more about enjoying time together. And when you choose to pass special items along now, while you're still here, you get to share the story behind them. That can be an incredibly meaningful experience for both you and them, a living legacy rather than a task left behind. If you've been following along with these ideas and trying them out, you've already shown yourself something important. You can make changes, even with habits built over decades. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Each small action counts. Today it might be a single drawer, tomorrow a box of papers. Each decision builds your confidence and your momentum. This is how lasting change happens gently, steadily, and with self-compassion. As you enjoy the new lightness in your home, consider creating a simple routine to keep it that way. It might be as easy as taking 5 minutes at the end of the day to put things back where they belong, or setting aside a small box for donations and adding to it when you come across something you no longer need. These tiny habits prevent clutter from creeping back in and keep your space aligned with your life as it is now. Above all, remember that this journey isn't about getting rid of things. It's about making space for life. You're not losing anything essential. You're gaining clarity, freedom, and peace. You're shaping an environment that supports your health, your happiness, and your independence. You're choosing how you want to live the years ahead, and that's a powerful, hopeful act. So take a breath, look around, and appreciate the steps you've taken. Celebrate each area you've cleared. Notice how your home feels now compared to when you started, and let that feeling guide you. This is your space, your time, your life, and you deserve for it to feel light, calm, and joyful. I'd love to know how this process is going for you. Have you started letting go of a few items? How does your home feel now? Share your thoughts and tips in the comments below. Your experience could be just the encouragement someone else needs. And if this video has been helpful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's a wonderful way to stay connected and to keep learning gentle, practical ways to live your best life at any age. Here's to homes that welcome us, memories that shine, and lives with plenty of room for what truly matters. You've worked hard, you've loved deeply, and now you've earned the freedom of a space that feels peaceful and supports the life you're living today. May every decision to let go open a little more space for joy, for ease, and for the moments still to come.